Oftentimes when I'm in companies, I hear managers tell their people they need to be better strategic thinkers. And CEOs hire me to help them become better strategic thinkers. So I thought it'd be a good idea to put together a video on how to become a better strategic thinker. There are 5 things it takes to be a great strategic thinker. Number 1 is a solid base of business acumen. That you're reading, studying, learning, exposing yourself to as many business ideas as you can in leadership, marketing, differentiation, competition, strategy, strategic execution, everything you can learn about how a great business runs. However, all of the answers are not in the books or the podcasts or the blogs or the YouTube videos or a million other places. Still have to expose yourself to all that. Got to keep learning all the time. But you take all that information you're learning and you put it together with your real life experience. Business acumen with what you've learned in your 5, 10, 20, 30 years in the industry, from the companies you've worked in, from the people you've interacted with. Those are the first 2 steps to being a great strategic thinker. Number 3, which I believe is the most important, is pattern recognition. The ability to see around the corner, to identify trends or patterns or spikes in the marketplace or new consumer behavior before your competition does, which gives you first mover advantage. So we've got the first 3: solid business acumen, strong personal experience, pattern recognition. Then comes step 4, which is strategic insight. All of a sudden you see that pattern, you match it up with your business acumen, with what you've learned in all your years of business, and you have that strategic insight of what you need to do to move your organization into position to take advantage of that insight. And lastly, you've got to take those first 4 and take this strategic insight and then execute it with discipline. At its heart, all strategy is just the allocation of scarce or limited resources. Even Google does not have totally unlimited resources. Very close, but not totally. So a big part of strategy and strategic thinking is understanding where are we going to invest our time, our money, our people, our research, and looking at, if we've only got a limited amount of stuff, how do we use it to the highest advantage and the highest leverage? Which leads to the second part of that, which is if it's the allocation of limited resources, one of the most important things a great strategic thinker does is figure out what to say no to. Where will we not allocate resources? What customers will we not go after? What competitors are we going to stop competing against and move into another arena? So it's allocating resources and figuring out what to say no to. Here's an important idea. All strategy is a guess. You have no idea. You're making it up. Hopefully it's a well-informed guess, but I think one of the problems that many people get into in strategy is they think there is one right answer. And there's not. There's multiple right answers. It's one of the most fascinating things I think about is all throughout your life in school, basically from kindergarten all the way through university, you are taught to find the one right answer. Because on the test, there's only one right answer. Then you get out into the working world and you realize there's not just one right answer. There are multiple right answers. So a great strategic thinker looks and says, I found one right answer. This is great. Let me go over here and see if I can find a second right answer and a third right answer, maybe a fourth. And it's typically the combination of all those together that allows you to come up with the best right answer. Another problem strategic thinkers have is trying to find a solution when there may not be one. And they're convinced they can fix it. Well, that's the difference between a puzzle, a problem, and a mystery. A puzzle has a solution. There is one right answer. It's like a Rubik's Cube or a jigsaw puzzle. It's got to look like the top of the box. When it does, I have found the one right answer. A problem, though, might have multiple solutions. As I mentioned, might have 2 or 3 or 4 solutions which you add together to find what you think is the best solution. A mystery, though, cannot be solved. You can't tell where the economy is going to be 10 years from today. You don't know what competitors there will be in your field 10 years from today. You don't know exactly how technology is going to impact your company over the next decade. So one of the great things a strategic thinker does is back up and say, are we trying to solve a puzzle, a problem, or a mystery, and then attack that accordingly? And lastly, but not least important, actually most important, is how to create a good, solid strategy. And I created a formula for this, which is all effective strategy is just valued differentiation multiplied by disciplined execution. Let me explain. To win in the marketplace, you've got to bring something that's unique and compelling that your target customer values very highly. They're more than happy to pay $5 or $50,000 or $50 million for. They see it as a reasonable price. That is difficult, if not impossible, for your competition to copy, and that you can execute on consistently and flawlessly. If you can create a strategy that meets those 4 criteria, you will have created a strategy that will absolutely crush the competition and allow you to win in the marketplace. So at a high level, those are a handful of things you've got to be able to do really well to be a good strategic thinker.